All Stop Sports. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Back with another video. We're going to talk some MMA on this one. But first and foremost, shout out to the LDBC. Now, this is my official fight prediction for the rematch this weekend between former UFC light heavyweight champion Jon Jones and current UFC light heavyweight champion DC Daniel Cormier. I'm excited for this fight. I'm a big Jon Jones fan. The first time I remember witnessing Jon fight was against Andre Guzmão. And I thought to myself at the time, this kid has a chance to be something very special. Shortly after he defeated Stephan Bonner, and then that's when I believe he fought Matt Hamill, who he was dominating in that opening round, but they disqualified, stating that he landed illegal elbows that were coming from 12-6. He dominated Brandon Vera, landed an elbow to his orbital bone that had Vera basically asking out of the fight. The mounted crucifix that he put Vladimir Mansashiko in to dominate and stop him in round one was incredible. But the fight that put him on the map was when he beat Ryan Bader. I'll never forget that because my girlfriend at the time and I, back when I used to drink, we went to the bar to watch it. And after the fight, they offered Jon the opportunity to fight for the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship against Shogun due to the fact that Rashad Evans had injured himself. 6 weeks later, Jon went in there and stopped Shogun to become the youngest UFC Light Heavyweight Champion in history, a record that still holds true today. And after that, he never took a night off, facing Quentin Rampage Jackson, Lyoto Machida, Rashad Evans, Vitor Belfort, Chael Sonnen, Alexander Gustafsson, Glover Teixeira, Daniel Cormier, and Ovince St. Preux. Now, his resume is undisputable, but what he's done outside of the octagon is where he's had his shortcomings. Daniel Cormier is the guy that everybody looks to and feels like he's just not in any position to compete with Jon Jones. It's kind of sad because DC is a good guy, a good father, a hard-working man. He's a good analyst, but he's just the guy that comes up short against Jon Jones. And he doesn't understand why he's not liked because he feels like he does all the things men should do. And Jon Jones lives life as more of a rebel and fans connect to him more. But I don't think that's the case. I think that the fans just see the greatness in Jon Jones, and that's overshadowed by everything that he's done. They don't care about the transgressions that he gets into outside the octagon. When he's in there, he performs. I think he's going to end up getting his belt back. I do. But this time, I'm looking at him to stop Daniel Cormier. The last time they fought, it was a unanimous decision. But I think that he could stop DC. DC's older, 2 years older than the first time they fought, and DC has been in a few wars. That Gustafsson fight wasn't easy for Daniel Cormier, and the first Rumble Johnson fight wasn't easy for Daniel Cormier. He got hurt badly in that opening round. Now, Jon has been off for a year and a half, almost 2 years. The Ovince St. Preux, I really don't think was a fight that you really can consider because we knew he was going to go in and dominate Ovince. But the reason why I think he didn't stop Ovince is because Jon, he's a very strategic fighter. He game plans. A lot of fighters that you watch, they'll tell you they go off their reactions. Not Jon Jones. He studies and studies and studies. I remember Rashad Evans said that he had a book that he would write while they were training together at Jackson's, where he would have all these techniques that he would practice and mentally remember from the opponent that he was going up to face. It's documented that Jon watches a ton of tape of his of his opponents. So when he was fighting Ovince St. Preux, Daniel Cormier had gotten injured. And so that kind of threw the timing off. And so he didn't have as much time to prepare for Ovince. So I think he played it safe. But with DC, he's been focusing on beating Daniel Cormier for at least the last 2 years, since he got first initially suspended and Cormier won the belt. He's been mentally preparing for this. Now, I know he's rusty. He hasn't been inside the octagon. But with that being said, I expect him to stop DC inside of 4 rounds. I do. Now, I think he can either submit him or I think he can technically knock him out. It won't be a one-punch knockout. It won't be a one-kick shot. But I think that over time, the accumulation of shots that he lands on DC, if it's ground and pound or if he decides to stand up and just kind of go toe-to-toe and have the striking advantage over DC, then Jon should stop him. Now, after the fight, I don't know what's next for Jon Jones. Possibly the Gustafsson rematch, but he just came out recently and said he's open to fighting Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar came back and said that he's willing to accept that fight. I think Jon would beat Brock Lesnar as well. I just think Brock doesn't have the skill to compete with Jon Jones. He's a bigger guy, but Jon's not that much smaller than him, and his skill is so much more superior that I think he could go in there and he'll stop Brock Lesnar as well. But those are fights we have to wait to see happen. I just hope we can make it to Saturday night. No hiccups in the road, no bumps that go on, and we can get this rematch. It's good to see a guy come all the way back from the bottom back to the top. I hope he can get his belt back. Now, no, I'm not excusing any transgressions, but anybody listening to these videos knows that nobody walks perfect. Nobody. I'm just saying, do your part. Don't be judgmental and just enjoy the entertainment. Jon Jones is on his way back out here to do his thing, and everybody knows it. So I'm picking Jon Jones to win this rematch inside of 4 rounds, stopping Daniel Cormier, the first man to beat him and the first man to stop him. And that's what I'm riding with. This is All Stop Sports, and I'm out. Shout out to the LDBC.